Eugene, when you were planning Concourse D, how did you seek to rethink the commercial and consumer offer there? And where did you draw your inspiration from?
Our inspiration, Peter, comes from two sources. One, our travellers themselves and what they've been telling us for many years, what their expectations are from an airport. And our second motivation comes from the airline community itself, and this facility is designed for our foreign airline partners, so we've been very mindful to put in place a facility which is appropriate to their needs.
How important was the fact that you could actually plan and control this project from start to finish? And what advantages has that brought? What lessons did you learn from other projects such as Concourse A?
Straight after opening Concourse A in January 2013, we started, in all seriousness, planning for Concourse D. So we rolled into Concourse D really from that planning process and continued with it. The success factors from Concourse A probably were working very closely with brands directly to deliver an enhanced offer, whether it's retail or whether it's food and beverage or other services in the airport. And we continued with that principle into Concourse D, working directly with the operators and brands that we selected to operate here, and to really work on quality, innovation and a point of difference from other airports or even other travel channels, for example. So that's probably evident. The most evident thing you can see here today is that continuation but also evolution working with brands.
What do you think have been the key firsts that you've delivered here from your learnings that we can actually see at the terminal?
There's a lot of freshness in the terminal. I think just from the design itself, it's a very open, bright facility. It's a walk-through facility from a retail point of view, and also from an aviation point of view, it has an open gate system. So that in itself is very different for Dubai International Airport. The second point is that the brands that we worked with, or the spaces that we planned them in, we really worked on integrating them more together. So planning retail to be integrated more with food, food to be integrated more with other services and other amenities in the immediate environment. So from that point of view, we have vertically integrated environment here. The core retail, Dubai Duty Free at the lower level, integrated with some food and beverage. But the majority of our services are upstairs in terms of food and beverage, and the lounges as well themselves. And from that point of view, we've created a commercial heart at the airport around an atrium where we're encouraging people to stop and dwell, and we've never had the opportunity to create that before in other concourses, for example. The facility itself is a very different shape from the other concourses here at Dubai International that you'd be familiar with. It's more of a square shape than a linear one, and that's allowed us to do some very interesting things from a commercial planning point of view. And we were at the very early stages of planning the terminal. We were involved in it, so we were able to influence a great deal the overall flow, the overall delivery of commercial activities across the whole airport, whether that was advertising. There's a bigger emphasis, I would say, on digital advertising in this concourse than any other concourse. We have over 200 installations. The majority of them are digital. From a food and beverage point of view, we've got a number of firsts. Pret-a-manger is the first Pret-a-manger concept in this region, working with Emirates Leisure Retail. We're working with SSP for the first time in this airport, who have brought a number of food concepts here, their own concepts, and working in partnership with international brands like CNN Travel Cafe here behind me. Also working with other retailers like Boots Pharmacy in the well-being space with Be Relax. We have had a partnership with Be Relax for several years, but this is the first time that we've broadened the scope of their services here at the airport.
I want to go back to the commercial model, because what I understand, the process was very different. What you did was chose your business partners and then developed the design model with them as a real partnership, and that's why we're seeing very different executions from some of your retail partners here from what we'll see elsewhere.
Right. Yeah, our selection process was based first and foremost on the competence and the suitability of operators and brands, and secondly on the financial potential of their submissions. But it was only then, once we selected the partners, that we worked on a design brief, giving our partners full information in order to go on and design their outlets, knowing full what their adjacencies were, what our expectations and aspirations were as an airport. And that's a principle that we started with Concourse A. We have a design team embedded within the commercial department at the airport, working in partnership with our brands from the very early stages of design all the way through fit out and project management to opening day, and beyond that in terms of account management and relationship management. So from that point of view, you can see familiar brands executed very differently as a result of that practice, and also new brands are, for this region at least, are executed in a very fresh way, incorporating technology or light, or like a CNN Travel Cafe here behind us. It incorporates media, food and beverage, comfortable seating.
It's a lounge type feel.
Charges. It's a lounge, exactly, Peter, for the economy class passenger in a very bright open space. And that's a trend we see going forward, where we have a common platform, which is a commercial platform, but which incorporates retail, food, experience, technology, and overall, hopefully, customer satisfaction at the end of the day. And I believe that the days where retail, food, advertising, and other activities are separated are hopefully coming to an end. The customer certainly doesn't see an airport in that light. They see it as one journey and one relationship with the airport, regardless of the operator.
An important point, and I just want to register the fact that the ratio of space that you've given to retail, to food and beverage, is fundamentally different from the other terminals too. I mean, is this the way forward for you, or do you think it's the way forward for the airport community?
Yeah, I think we've got an appropriate level of retail, food, lounges and other commercial activities here. Dubai Duty Free manages 7,000 square metres of space. It's a walk-through facility. It's the first point of contact with customers coming through the airport for the big core categories. We've got 3,000 square metres of food and beverage over 2 levels. We've got 9 lounges, 5 of them are dedicated to airlines, and we have other services as well spread out on the piers at either side of the main atrium. So it is a big commitment in terms of commercial, but it's also an indication of how active Dubai Airports is in supporting all non-aeronautical revenue streams, and how important they are to our future as well. Working with our partners and stakeholders to ensure that they've got the oxygen that they need to deliver overall in terms of success, but also in terms of revenue potential going forward.
I want to go back to a point that you made earlier. How important was it for you to introduce first to Dubai or first to region brands? I mean, and what statement do you think this makes about Dubai's overall status in the aviation world?
In terms of how important is it for us to have this reputation for being different, I think you see a lot of stuff here at Dubai International that's not evident in other airports, and maybe not in the obvious retail or food spaces, but also in the entertainment space. We've had 15 live concerts at the airport here, musicians playing since November. We're now getting into art in a bigger way at the airport, working on technology as well with regard to Wi-Fi products and integrating that with the overall commercial environment. And I think you'll see a lot more of this at Dubai, at least, as we move forward.
Let's just talk briefly about sense of place. How much of a consideration is this for you?
That's an interesting question, Peter. I get asked that question a lot here in Dubai, and sense of place for us means modern hospitality, and that's what it means within Dubai as well. Sense of place for us is working with the brands and delivering an experience, I think, that modern travellers coming through Dubai expect to see. However, when it comes to Arabian culture and heritage, I think we've got some work to do there, and you'll probably see something within the next couple of years physically delivered through one of the other concourses here at Dubai International.
So you've effectively redefined what the common understanding of sense of place is.
That's right. I think people do expect to see camels, sand, music, smells and all of that, and I think we are really considering internally what that might mean actually in a modern terminal moving forward here.
Maybe just use the digital screens to do the job for you.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. One of the interesting aspects about the way that you're now running the business is you are promoting it. And I'm interested in learning how you market the new offer here to consumers, not just inside the airport but outside too. Right. What role does digital and social media play, for example?
Yeah. We are big in social media, and we started in a very meaningful way about 1.5 years ago in working directly with Facebook Corporation to actually understand how we could apply social media to our particular experience and requirements. And in the course of a couple of months, we've really started to embrace, I think, what social media can actually offer the airport. We work very closely with our stakeholders here at the airport and commercial partners to develop very generic messages that we post very frequently. We have almost 2 million followers on social media channels.
That's a good result.
Promoting products, promoting services, making them aware of particular services across the airport. We're open 24/7, for example. All of our retail, all of our food and beverage is open 24/7. You can buy duty free on arrival. We have pharmacies which are open 24/7. You can change money. So these are all generic messages which are applicable to most partners, but which are very interesting to travellers before they come here. Our relationship with travellers starts before they come here. So we've revamped our website. We've made it more consumer friendly. It was very corporate. We're now working on physical messages at check-in. So the journey from check-in in Terminal 1 to Concourse D has a number of reminders along the way. We've worked on developing content specifically for social media to showcase, to highlight the range and diversity of products and services at the airport, regardless of the operator. And I think that's what customers want to see. They want to see the range and the breadth of products and services. And that's something we're working very closely with Dubai Duty Free on. We're working with all of our commercial partners as well to get those messages across. We're inaugurating this terminal in a couple of days' time, officially and formally. We've never done that before in other terminals. And
that's April 27th, isn't it?
Yes, so we are working very closely with all of the airlines who we are host to here in Concourse D to ensure that they are aware that they are very much part of this and they're very much part of the success of Concourse D. So we'll have over 80 airline representatives here on that day. You can imagine the colour that they'll bring with their different uniforms, and we're going to celebrate big time on that day.
I just want to bring it back to Concourse D. Last question. If there was one defining statement you wanted to make, one sentence even, about this particular terminal, what would it be?
Hashtag must be DXB.
Simple as that.
Simple as that, yeah.
Eugene, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Peter. Pleasure.